Greetings from YouTubeville. Once again, Danny Savage, Draft Guru. Like, sub, and subscribe. It don't cost a dime. Still the best beard on YouTube. Today we're going to be throwing out again tight end part 3 list. And ironically, two of the tight ends are from the same college. So I'm going to be throwing out two tight ends from the University of Georgia. First kid is Oscar Delp, Georgia. 6'5", 255. He's been clocked at over 20 miles an hour, running routes and going out for passes. Hold on, I gotta fix this. Yeah. Got it. Boom. So, and we all saw what Georgia did to Clemson this week. But Georgia's going with much more of a two tight end set, and they're playing two tight ends. Where last year they predominantly played one tight end. Well, I shouldn't say that. They pretty much starred one tight end last year. Next kid is Benjamin Yorsak. He's a Stanford transfer. He was injured at Stanford and he transferred to Georgia. But he's a 1-2 punch to watch out for with Delp at the University of Georgia. They're two people to watch out for. He's more of a yards after the catch kind of guy, but I also think he has to stay healthy also, because there's a saying, you can't make the club if you're in the tub. So here's another kid I'm going to be giving you. No one's talking about him. Nobody has talked about this kid but me. When I gave you him in July, and I'm giving him to him now to you. But they didn't do that well Sunday night. This kid is by the name of Mason Taylor, LSU. He has the size. 6'5", 245. He has the size that NFL scouts covered. And they like in their tight ends. The last two seasons, he's had over 30 catches and over 400 yards. So he has production his last 2 years. So now this year, it's all going to depend on, LSU's quarterback, if they can get him the ball, how Brian Kelly runs his offense. But this kid has all the measurables to take the next jump forward. And what I'm trying to get at is, even if he doesn't this year, if you compile what he did the last two seasons, and even if he has a little bit of a down year, and I'm not saying he's gonna, but he goes to the East-West, he goes to the Senior Bowl, and, he goes to the Combine and he blows up, he's going to get drafted higher. He might get drafted. He might actually even get overdrafted because he has all the measurables and pretty decent, production at tight end in college. Next kid is Hayden Hanson, 6'6", 255, University of Florida. He didn't do too well this past week. Well, all of Florida didn't do too well this past week against Miami. They got their heads handed to them. They really did. They got shell shocked. Once again, I mean, this kid's 6'6", 255. When I throw out tight ends, I always try to throw out like in each block of five I give you. I always try to give you like at least 3 to 4 pass catches, and then I like to throw in one run blocker to cover my bases. This kid to me is more of a run blocker, in my opinion, and they're gonna need him at Florida the way they looked the other night. They didn't look that good. I can't even pronounce this next name. Jake Branningstall, 6'6", 230, Clemson. Last year, he caught 50 passes for over 500 yards. Problem is, when I see 6'6", 230, he's probably more likely 6'6", 220. And he's an oversized wide receiver. I've always said, I don't care what you weigh in August. I care what you weigh in December and January in college. When it comes to the NFL, I don't care what you weigh in August. I care what you weigh in January and February. But this kid has the size. He's 6'6". He has the frame to get bigger. He's an athletic pass catcher going by, 50 catches for over 500 yards last year with Clemson. I don't see this as a very crazy tight end draft. I just don't. So he's someone, because of if he keeps on track with this, he's someone that could be, a day 3 kind of guy, because he has the size, and an NFL team will look at him and they'll be like, yeah, we can put 20 pounds on him. We can throw him on IR. We could hide him on IR for, let's say, like a year or two. And that's where your only job is to lift and eat. Imagine that, man, getting paid to lift and eat. Great country, America, huh? But he's a guy to watch out for, because he has the productivity last year, and he has the size that there's some teams. It still seems like there's some teams, like the Raiders are one of them. Like, unless you run a 4-3 or 4-2, they won't even look at you if you're a wide receiver unless you run a 4-2. But how has the Raiders drafting been? Like, let's say the last decade. Raiders suck at drafting. So that was my tight end watch list part 3. Second time I'm doing this. We all know when you're rocking with the GWO, it's for life. Over and out.